Hi, how are you?
Hi,
This is
doing good. How
Marty.
about you?
I'm doing great. Uh, Let me introduce myself first, and then I'll introduce today with our guest. And my name is Marty. I'm the Bay Realtor right here in California, from Santa Clara County, San Jose, all the way to East Bay and to San Francisco as well. And I'd like to introduce my colleague today, who is in Dallas area. That's her. Her name is Beverly, and she's in Texas. And we like to talk about a lot of things regarding to the real estate as far as business and the market goes. So let's introduce Beverly first. Beverly, how are you?
Doing good, thanks.
Oh,
Hi.
great. Nice to
Hi.
you.
Go ahead.
So go ahead, say hello to everyone.
Hi, everybody. My name is Beverly Lou with Abby Holiday. I'm the realtor in Dallas, Texas, Metroplex area. And I've been in this business for a little bit over 4 years and been enjoying it ever since.
All right, wonderful. I'm just started just one and almost half years, so it's doing okay. Thank you very much. So,
Thank
Beverly,
you.
may I ask you how, what make you get into this business?
It's okay. Almost 20 years ago, a friend of mine who got into this business and asked me see if I would like to go to the classes with her to get the license. And I wasn't interested because at that time I had a very stable job. And then the same person 4 years ago, the same person who the same friend that she actually we saw each other and she said um, she was needing an assistant, and she knew my background as being, a C-level executive assistant. So she asked me to be her assistant, and I was like, great. I'm just being an assistant. Then I was while I was being while being her assistant, I realized that as an licensed assistant, my hands are tied, and there are a lot of things that I couldn't do.
So when you say
So
when your hands are tied, what does that mean? That you're very busy, a lot of work to do?
no, actually, the it means that a lot of things I would like to help her to do, but I couldn't. For example, when she has double booking, like as her assistant, while she's showing homes, if there's another client who is available to view homes at the same time, of course she cannot be two places at one time. So as her assistant, I wouldn't be able to help her to show homes, to do a lot of stuff, to host open house. um, so I then decided to become a licensed realtor. But well, before that, before she approached me to be her assistant, I was actually working in as a flipper. I was buying ugly homes and flipping it.
Wow.
And then at that time, well, thank you. And then before that, I was actually in a corporate Gold's Gym, the corporate office, working in the facility department, which they basically manage their own gym. It's sort of like property management, repairing stuff, going over the contract with the contractors and that sort of stuff. So I was in real estate. I was not really a realtor, but a lot of my work are real estate related.
Wow.
So, and then when she approached me and then became her assistant, I was like, you know what? It shouldn't be that hard to get the license. So that's why I decided to go for the license. And how about you?
I was actually introduced by one of our realtors when I live in Texas. Her name is Doreen. I think
Oh,
you probably
Doreen,
know her
yes.
very well. And she told me about this business. And before this, I was working for a multi-level marketing company. I work in the company as a customer service and did okay, did not bad. And about 5 years later, decided to move here to California from Texas. And so after I got here, I worked for a few other jobs. I still don't feel I have that kind of energy, have that kind of passion for those jobs. So that's why I decided to move on. And so right now, I went take a California real estate license. To tell you the truth, it took me a year before I actually passed that. Because I took it 3 times before the third time I passed, but the first 2 times was very close, but still not able to pass. And but then that gave me a lot of opportunity to learn the real estate from that time. Long before I passed, I already went into a lot of open houses.
I see. That's good. That's a start.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
really a
start.
start.
Yes, and I talked to a number of realtors about how to get into this business. What do I need to pay attention? But a lot of realtors, they do the open house. They really didn't have time to talk to me about a lot of things that they want to say. So I went online, I checked, and find out a lot of people actually do online. They're a realtor, but they tell their experience over the internet. I learned quite a lot from them. I was able to pass, but even I passed a year later. Uh, you know, I had I passed a year later. There was something for my name or the address. Something was along that line was not completely set up correctly. So the California real estate department, they took quite some time, about 3 months before they can issue my license. But
Oh,
after I passed, I already went to my brokerage, and they allow me to go on to start a business as long as I go under my broker's name, and you'll be fine. So I was able to do some business. I was able to knock the door and then actually get some business. So it's quite interesting. That was at the time was quite interesting. Now we can talk about that later on.
I understand.
Go ahead. So
I,
go ahead.
let me ask you a question. How much do you like, as far as a year and a half that you've been in this industry, how much do you like it and why you like it, and how much you don't like it and why?
I like it because it gives you a lot of flexibility. Now, right now, you don't really need to wake up 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, get ready for the work. That's
Exactly.
one thing I like it. And you don't really have if you're not really getting a lot of people, clients, you really don't have a lot of work to do. So you really need to find something to do. So I went to my office and I also learned a lot of online strategies, how they get the clients, how they build their clientele base, and how they attract the customer come to them, and then so that they can starting to show house or listing the house. That is a long process, but basically I learned from uh, a realtor right here in Southern California. He's quite famous. Uh, his strategy is knocking on the door. So I have that experience even before I get my license, and I was already knocking on the door. And I actually did have 2, 3 customers wanted to buy a house or even sell real estate property somewhere in California. So it was quite productive before I even started my license, and I was getting a lot of good response. So I like that. And the thing I don't like is that if you are not really well known, nobody will really contact you. That's because you just started. Not a lot of people know you, and I see a lot of failures for this business for agents who started don't really know where to start, no mentor, and they didn't want to spend money for advertising as well. And to me, that's all part of a success plan. But you gotta willing to do that. You gotta willing to change yourself. You gotta willing to put yourself to the in front of camera, in front of customer, in front of a lot of people. You gotta be able to meet people and then open up yourself, give your name card, talk to them, and make them realize you are a realtor. And that is not easy for a lot of people because they just not get used to it. Or you gotta do a lot of cold callings. That is very hard for a lot of people. So that's why a lot of new agents they can pass the exam very fast, but then first 2 years the failure rate is very big, very high for a lot of people. And that's one thing I feel I don't like this business, but you gotta sustain it.
Yeah, what you're saying. I understand. There are a lot of people who get into this industry, profession actually, thinking they are gonna be they're once they got that license, they are gonna the money's not gonna roll in. It's just gonna keep rolling. It's wrong. It's really wrong. The moment you got your license is when the challenge begins. And most of people didn't know that. We are just like every business, entrepreneurs. We are trying to brand ourselves, to let people know what we do, who we are, how good are we. And so, as like a business, you have to have funds. I call it cash flow to advertise yourself. Even if you have to join, let's say, go hang out with your friends, go out and eat, go to a birthday party, you still have to have some money to pay your bill. Like I'm talking about like the dinner that you go with your friends, go to a birthday party, you can't go there empty handed. So you always need to have a starting fund, just like every business, to start a business. And we, as a realtor, is a business. We are a business. So most of people didn't understand that. So a lot of people, once they got their license, they're so happy. They think money will come in. No. And my suggestion to people who first started, well, first of all, let me tell you, when I was in real estate school before I was licensed, I didn't go online classes. I went to an actual lecture course. I learned that most of people didn't know that. The average first year income as a realtor is $20,000.
Yeah,
That's all.
or less.
That's
Yes.
most of people didn't understand. Huh? How can that be? Y'all realtors are making so much money. The blah blah blah. No, people need to realize we don't close, we don't get the money.
That's
and even if we have a customer or client to show a home with, if this person decide, you know what, I don't need you anymore, cut you loose, everything, all the gas money you spend, the time you spend, the energy, down the drain, $0. Most of people didn't know that. They think that we are so this industry has been so glorified by so many people. And especially this is a holiday season, we realtors are the big target to get attacked, to get robbed. So we realtors have to be really, really careful on meeting with people that we don't know. So we have safety procedures that we take. But again, this industry is not as glorified as everybody thinks.
That's very good point.
Yes,
even though I have a few success, but first 7 months, that was from July 2017 to the end of December 2017, I only had 2 close, and the money was okay. It was not just like you cannot survive on that money.
Of course.
You only the rent will really kill you, and you have a lot of thing. You do a lot of service for almost. I can say it's all free, because they not everybody want to buy, and not everybody, even they want to buy, is not ready to buy. That's one thing I felt a lot of time. I do a lot of free services, and but it's just a learning experience, and hopefully that this kind of learning experience can pick up later on, that can help us to get even more deal done, more transactions that we can keep going. So yeah, you're right about that.
I think the main thing about our industry is to brand our name. When I say brand, is letting people know that you are a realtor and you are good.
Yes.
By doing that, most of the time, based on my experience, I do a lot of free consultation. Most of people think, consultation should be free. No, let me tell you this. Your time is precious. My time is precious, but I'm willing to give people free consultation because of course, we need to know you're serious. Are you ready? Something like that. But also it's part of the reason, the way that I brand myself, let people know how good I am by talking to me so they will know whether I'm knowledgeable, I'm professional, do I have good attitude, do I have good work ethics. So a lot of times, like I said, even this morning, I was talking to someone from California about rental listing, and I'm not a California realtor, but I was giving her advices because we realtors have two licenses. One is national, one is state. So at least I still have the national license.
Oh, you have national license.
Yeah, National Association of Realtors. And then
you have, I have that too.
Yeah, everybody has two. Yes. Let's say right now, if let's say I move to California right now, and I'm licensed in Texas. When I go to California, if I want to continue to be a realtor in California, all I need to do is pass the state license. I don't need to pass the national anymore because I've already have the national license.
I didn't know. That's good to know. So when I move to Texas, I only get one.
Just one. Exactly.
Or I can take one more Texas license to get two licenses from both states.
You should. I mean, since you used to live in Texas, I think you should. A lot of times also there are referrals. Like we realtors, the reason why we are talking to each other right now is also a referral program. Like we work with each other. I work with Doreen. I like to work with her if I have clients from Austin. In Dallas or ready to move to Austin or somewhere that I know my friends who are ready to buy a home in Austin, I will refer to her. Like in Houston, I have a friend named David Chen, and I will refer anyone who wants to buy homes or rent in Houston, and I will refer to them. So it's a networking. As a realtor, you have to have a strong network.
That's correct. Yes.
Yes. And then and also the other thing I want to say, I don't know about California, maybe you can add to that. A lot of times I've, in the past 4 or 5 years that I've been working in real estate, I realized there are a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, a few. They are not realtors, but they are practicing as a realtor. So most of the time I tell people, look, you need to check. Once you get the hold of a realtor, you need to make sure this realtor is licensed and the license is in active status, not expired, not suspended, not disabled, but active. And there's a way to check is go to the TRAC website, Texas Real Estate Commission website, and type the name of the realtor. Then you will know, and this not only this realtor's license, the history, and also the history of the continuing education classes. Like I took a lot of continuing education classes. Just like you said, at the beginning, you're in a small brokerage. No, you have no mentor, no one to take you, to hold hands for you. So at this point, you will need to have. That's what I did. I start with a small brokerage and I self-educate myself. When I say self-educate, not really. I go to a lot of classes. That's why I personally have 10 different nationally and Texas recognized designation in real estate because I didn't have anyone to help me. So I would suggest you, because you started a year and a half, maybe you should invest some money to yourself and go to those like ABR, like SRS, that kind of classes. That will help you too. That helps me a lot.
Okay, what kind of you're talking about ABR? What kind of a license is that? What kind of a
Okay,
certificate?
ABR is called accredited buyer representative. ABR. It means that it's a class that specifically teach me how to be a buyer's representative. And there's one that I always suggest a new agent to take. It's called GRI. It's called Graduate Real Estate Realtor Institute.
Uh-huh.
GRI, Graduate Realtor Institute. That class is more specifically for, I think personally, for realtors who just got their license. They're still, I mean, basically, I remember when I first got licensed, I feel like I just passed an exam and that's it. I still don't know real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but how do I get more into details in real estate and being a realtor is go to the GRI class, and that will give me more idea about the buyer side, the seller side, the foreclosure side, the short sales, all that kind of stuff, the appraisal, all that stuff. It's more depth in that class. But then if you want to be more specific, go to ABR, go to SRS, it's called Seller Representation Specialist. So you know how to better represent the seller. And then there are SFR, short sale foreclosure, or if you are willing to help more like seniors, it's called SRES, Senior Real Estate Specialist, something like that. There are variety of classes that realtors can take. It just a lot of times your broker is so busy, may not be able to hold your hand for every single step. So we as a realtor, we have to invest our time and money to take some courses. And in the class, you have interaction with other realtors who may be a seasoned realtor or who may be a very experienced realtor. Brainstorming that will give you a lot of ideas. Like for example, APR classes I took. I learned a lot of techniques on how to lead. Most of the time, as a buyer, you need a buyer and seller. You need, as a realtor, you need leads. You need people to come to you. How do you find leads? What's the proper way to do it? You have rules and regulation laws to tell you what to do and what not to do. So at that time, you go to the class, you know how to get leads, but yet you still do it the way in the proper guidelines, so you are not losing your license.
Oh, good. This is one
like
thing I did not know that you should be able to do that, but I believe our real estate realtor, the association in the county, they offer some almost the same kind of classes. I believe they do have, and I think I should spend some time and money to go take those classes. That would be very good for.
I think you should.
Yes.
Because if you take let's say the GRI Graduate Realtor Institute, the class I take in Dallas is specifically for this market. So if let's say you take the GRI course here, let's say you have both licenses, you have Texas and California, and you take the GRI in Dallas. That technique may not apply to California.
Yes.
So I always think that wherever is your major market, the market that you want to focus on, take the course over there. And then not only that, but also the main thing is what I enjoy the most, not only the instructor, most of the instructors are brokers. They are actually licensed, they are active, they are also practicing real estate. But also the classmates, there are so many brainstorm sessions, and it gives you a lot of ideas and will kind of stimulate your creativity. And I really enjoy going to classes. And that's why, like I say, I have 10 designation certificates.
Oh, you have a lot of certificates. That is great. So let's talk about your specific specialty. Now you have 10 different specialty. I think you probably have some that are your special skills that you're very good at. So just give me a few. Let's talk about, let's say, buying side. For the buying side.
For the buying side.
For the buyer, for your buyer. Yeah, you are the agent, the buyer agent.
Okay, so most of the agents, when you first licensed, not always, but most of the time, you always get the buy. You usually get a buyer first, not the seller.
That is correct. That is correct. You can hardly get the seller when you first started. Now this, I have just 1.5 years experience. I have a lot of buy-ins, but I only have one sales, and it's not a house. It's just a mobile home. And so,
well, I will tell you, my first listing was the vacant land. It was a land. It wasn't even a house. So there's no need to put a lockbox or showing because the land is over there. There's no way you can lock it up, right? So that was my very first listing. And lands, I know everybody knows Texas has a lot of lands. And lands normally takes a while to sell. But that land was sold in like 3 months. And I was so happy. I was very happy. It's just lucky. It was just very lucky.
I'd like to share that with you also, that about second month into my home, I actually the license, and I knocked the door. I actually got into a family that they have a house in Lake Tahoe, and that house they have land like you. They have a lot, and that's about 6 blocks from the casino. So it's quite a good, famous destination for tourists. So I was able to help him to sell that. So it's also a lot. It's an empty lot, but it was so fast too, because surrounding the area is good for vacation home, and people want to buy for sell the house. For the contractor, they can buy it and then build a house on top, and then they can sell it easily. So that's what happened. I feel like. If you want to work and you wanting to put your hard work to it, you'll be able to get something out of it. And that, just like you said,
everybody's different. My technique is okay. A lot of people has a misconception about realtors. Like, for example, if I go to a friend's birthday party or get together, I normally don't tell people what I do. I don't. And let me tell you why. Because if you do, people say, oh, you come here because you want my business. Well, seriously, we got life. We want to go out and meet people as friends, not always going out to meet people to buy or sell. So most of the time I just, I don't say anything until someone asks me. You know what I say? I still don't tell them I'm a realtor. I say, well, I'm in the real estate related profession.
Oh, nice.
And then the next question they will ask is, are you a realtor? Well, you asked me, I didn't say it. Then I say, yes, I am. That I don't want to tell people immediately because people will look at me differently. People will. Sometimes I try that at the beginning, as freshly new license, you're so eager, you have all this energy, you want to show the world how much you know. What am I doing? But when you tell people the way people look at you at the beginning, they were friendly. All of a sudden you say, oh, I'm a realtor. Oh, that look kind of saddens me. Yeah. So I think now I've learned the technique not to tell people I'm a realtor. At the beginning, I let them ask me.
That is a good idea. That is good. Yes. You can pick up.
Yes.
But my approach is maybe I'll bring the name card. So I just if they talk to me about it, I'll give them my name card and I tell them I'm in this business. So yeah, you get this kind of look or a lot of times. You get a lot, but there will be somebody wanted to use you sometime. They will come back to you, say I want you, but usually that will take some time before they come back to you.
Well, let me tell you this. Most of the time I always tell people that a lot of agents doesn't like to share how to get leads. And let me tell you one thing. This is another a very an agent that works in the real estate in Dallas for like over almost 20 years. This is what he told me. He said, focus on your friends and family first, because they will be your they will be the person who know you the most. They will be the one who cheer you up most, and they will be the one who is willing to tell others about real estate. You are in real estate. Say good things about you. So focus on your friends and family first.
Yes.
Always.
Referral is very important.
Yes.